Today I'm reading from Descartes and the Splendor of a Real Drama in Everyday Life in 6 parts by Joanne Kyger. Part 2. I decided to sweep away everything in my mind and start over again, not adding one little iota until I was absolutely sure of it. Sorry, guess I already read these. Let me skip ahead. Okay, part 4. I reject as absolutely false all opinion in which I have the least doubt. As our senses often deceive us, I assume they show us illusion and must reject them. As reason is subject to error, and who can offer more living proof of that than I must reject the faculty of reason. Finally, I am aware that I am only completely and confidently aware of all this rejection and doubt. This is all I can be sure of, this spinning out of my head. Hence I arrive at my first fundamental truth. I think, hence I am, or I doubt, hence I am, or I reject, hence I am. You get the picture. However, this I is of the mind and wholly distinct from the body. But then further clear reasoning brings me to this. In order to think, it is necessary to exist. I never saw a dead man think. I never hoped to see one, but I can tell you anyhow. I'd rather see than be one. Dead men don't think, and therefore everything we exactly and truly know, like the reasoning above, is because it is clear and distinct. I realize that to doubt is a drag, and a perfect being would accept everything. But from whence did I get my idea of perfection? Placed in me by a nature in reality more perfect than mine, and which even possesses within itself all the perfection of which I could form any idea, that is to say, in a single word, Mother God. Without this idea of the perfection of Mother God, we should not exist. Imagination is a mode of thinking limited to material objects, and the stuffy mind assumes if you cannot imagine something, it does not exist, which is beside the point and off the argument, if not completely irrelevant to this text, by which I am following myself in glory and splendor. Am I a butterfly dreaming I am me, or me dreaming I am a butterfly, or am I Mother God in glory and splendor? Our ideas become confused because we are not wholly perfect, and our razor-sharp reason must be wielded at all times to guard against error of imagination and error of the senses. Part 5. The action by which she sustains creation is the same act by which she originally created. As I move through language and transfer the delicacy of vision into the moving and written word, so all thought not transferred on that level is lost and degenerated. The animal, the brute, dies a clumsy death, for he is not equal to God's working in man. If they do not speak the language of man, they speak no language and are destitute of reason. That the soul which we possess and which constitutes our difference, our soul which is language of Mother God, will not die with our bodies, like the brutes, the animals, which have nothing but their bodies to leave. We find the soul, our language, our reason, our Mother God, immortal. Part 6. The difficulties of trusting and using your own mind. The I that is the pivot must not wobble in the name of the established compendium of minds. Mother God has created all, and I found this from my own mind, whence reside the germs of all truth. And from her, the first cause, comes the sun and the moon and the stars, earth, water, air, fire, minerals, porridge. And from here I may explain all the objects have brought to my senses, and all the results which I have deemed important I have brought to you, not for my private use, but for any value they might have to those after me, for our cares ought to extend beyond the present. But it is the proof of my own mind's abilities, any one mind's abilities, that my undertaking draws to proof one cannot so well learn a thing when it has been learned from another, as when one has discovered it himself. Mother God in the castle of heaven.